Ethan was 10 when his newborn sibling came home. The adults saw a quiet baby. Ethan saw what happened when no adult was watching. Use headphones if you can, and keep the volume comfortable. My newborn sibling waited until we were alone. My family has a version of this story that makes me sound cruel. In their version, I was a jealous little boy who could not handle a new baby in the house. I sulked. I lied. I made up things because my parents were tired. And because all the soft voices were suddenly pointed at someone smaller than me. I understand why that version is easier. It fits in a family photo. It lets everyone look at Noah now and see the same person they think they brought home from the hospital. Noah is 21 now. He is polite in the way people call mature. He remembers birthdays. He speaks to my mother gently. He smiles for pictures with one hand in his pocket, always angled toward the light. Everyone loves him. I am 31, and I still avoid standing across from him at dinner, because I do not like seeing his eyes lift before I make a sound. This started the week he came home from the hospital, when the nursery still smelled like powder, warm laundry, and the paint my father swore had dried days ago. I was on summer vacation. My parents were not bad parents. I need that part understood. They were exhausted, careful people trying to keep 2 children alive on broken sleep and microwave dinners. When they asked me to watch Noah, they meant 5 minutes. 10 at most. Sit in the chair beside the crib while Mom showered. Stay in the room while Dad carried laundry downstairs. The nursery was the smallest room in the house. Yellow curtains, white crib, a dresser with tiny socks folded in rows. On top of it sat an analog baby monitor with a gray speaker grill and a red power light that blinked whenever the house wiring hummed. Above the crib was the mobile. It had cloth clouds, a moon, and 3 faded stars. You wound it with a plastic key. It played a thin nursery song that always sounded a little flat, like the tune had been left in a hot car. On Monday, Noah screamed while my mother stood in the doorway.
Ethan, sweetheart, just sit with him while I shower. If he keeps crying, call me.
She touched my shoulder, stepped into the hallway, and closed the bathroom door. The crying stopped so fast, the silence felt like a hand over my mouth. Noah lay on his back beneath the mobile, fists folded near his cheeks. His face was red, screaming, but his eyes were open and steady. Newborns are supposed to look through you. He looked at me like he had been waiting for the door to close.
Hi.
His mouth moved into the smallest smile. Not a baby smile, not gas. It was too timed, too private. When my mother opened the bathroom door, Noah began crying again, exactly as if someone had pressed play. Tuesday was the mobile. My father wound it before he left the room. The plastic key made that rough clicking sound old toys make, tight and hollow. The clouds circled. The moon tilted. The song played until the notes slowed, bent, and died.
Keep him company for a second, buddy. I just need to grab the basket.
My father left. Noah stopped fussing. The mobile stopped too, one star hanging directly over his face. Then, without music and without the key moving, the mobile turned one more full circle. The room had no draft. My bare feet were pressed into the carpet. I remember the carpet because I dug my toes into it and told myself I had made the room shake. Noah watched me watch it. When Dad came back, I told him the mobile moved after it stopped.
Old toys do weird things, Ethan. Springs slip.
He wound it again to prove the mechanism. Noah cried until Dad picked him up, then went soft and helpless against his shoulder. Over my father's arm, Noah looked at me. The smile came back. By Wednesday, I decided the house was haunted, because that was the only explanation a child could survive. While my mother took a phone call in the kitchen, I sat in the nursery chair and tried not to look at the crib. A soft step crossed the hallway outside. Not a creak, a step. Carpet pressing down under weight. I lean around the chair. The hallway was empty. The closet latch clicked behind me. I turned back slowly. The closet door had opened an inch. A yellow rattle rolled from under the crib, its plastic wheel bumping over the carpet with little ticks. Noah could not reach it. Noah could not roll over. Noah could barely hold his own head.
Stop it.
I whispered it, because I still thought I was speaking to the room. The baby monitor clicked on. It sat on the dresser with its red light blinking, even though no one was speaking through the other half downstairs. The speaker hissed. Then it played my whisper back to me, thinner, smaller, dragged through static.
Stop it.
I held my breath. The monitor breathed after me. My mother came in then, and everything quit at once. The monitor went back to soft static. The rattle sat beside the crib leg. Noah wrinkled his face and began to cry like a normal newborn, furious and helpless and loud.
Ethan, why is the closet open?
I said I did not know. She believed that part, but not the rest. On Thursday, Noah stopped waiting for me to understand. I tried to leave the nursery before my mother left the hallway. My fingers touched the doorknob. Before I turned it, Noah screamed. My mother appeared behind me with wet hair and one towel still over her shoulder. She saw me at the door. She saw Noah crying. She saw exactly what Noah wanted her to see.
Ethan, I know this is hard, but he is a baby.
The word baby made my stomach tighten. I could not explain why. Not yet. She stayed until Noah settled. The second she turned the corner, he stopped crying. The crib bars striped his face with shadow. His eyes moved to my hand, still on the knob. The mobile turned only when I looked at it. I looked away. The room held still. I snapped my eyes back. The moon shifted 2 inches through the air, silent, as if it had been caught mid-thought. The rattle moved closer when I blinked. The monitor clicked. It did not repeat words this time. It repeated my breathing. In, out, in, out. Then the static shaped the first half of my name. That was when the haunted house explanation fell apart. The sounds were not coming from the hallway. The hallway was being used. The closet was being used. The mobile, the rattle, the monitor, all of it gathered around the crib like fingers around a face. Noah was not reacting to the house. Noah was making the house perform. On Friday evening, I tried to keep an adult in the room. My mother was asleep on the couch with one hand still curved like she was holding a bottle. My father was in the kitchen, talking quietly to someone from work. The nursery door was open. I sat on the floor just outside it, where I could see Noah and still hear both of my parents. That was my plan. Child logic. If they were close enough, maybe closeness counted as watching. It did not. The kitchen faucet turned on. My father lowered his voice. My mother shifted on the couch and faced the cushions. For maybe 30 seconds, no adult was looking toward the nursery. The mobile began to rotate. No song, no clicking key, just the cloth moon circling above Noah's face, casting a slow shadow over his eyes. The baby monitor vibrated on the dresser. Its little speaker buzzed hard enough to make the plastic casing tick against the wood.
Ethan.
I wanted to run to my mother, but Noah opened his eyes. There was nothing newborn in them. No confusion, no wandering focus. They fixed on me with patient irritation, like I had been slow to learn a rule everyone else already knew. His mouth opened. Not much. That was the part that still finds me at night. His lips barely moved. The sound came out too low for that tiny chest, but not like any man who belonged in the room. Not like a monster in a movie. It was worse because it sounded unfinished, like something deep underground had learned our language from the outside of a door.
Don't worry. By the time I learn to talk, I'll sound just like them.
I screamed so hard my throat tore. The house became normal before my parents reached the door. The mobile hung still. The monitor gave one thin line of static. Noah lay red-faced and sobbing, a baby so convincing that for one wild second I hated myself for doubting what I had just heard.
What happened? Ethan, what happened?
He talked.
Who talked?
Noah.
My father's face changed in a way I had never seen before. Not anger, worry. The kind adults use when they realize the danger is not where the child is pointing. I told them about the mobile, the monitor, the rattle, the smile, the voice. Every detail made them look at Noah less and at me more. After that, they did not leave me alone with him for a while. Not because they believed me, because they thought I needed help. That is how Noah won the first argument without saying another word. I wish I could tell you he slipped eventually, that my parents heard something, that the monitor recorded it, that the mobile moved in front of someone else. But Noah understood the rule better than any of us. He only revealed himself when no adult was watching. By the time he was old enough to speak, he sounded exactly like a child should. A little soft, a little bright, curious in front of my mother, funny in front of my father. He learned where to pause, where to laugh, where to look confused. People called him gifted. I called him Noah because everyone else did. Last month, he came home for my father's birthday. The family room was full of plates, low conversation, and the clink ice in glasses. Noah stood by the hallway mirror in a pressed shirt, laughing at something my mother said. His voice was perfect now, warm, polished, human, down to the little breath before each sentence. I was carrying empty plates to the kitchen when I saw him in the mirror. No one else was looking. His smile arrived before my eyes lifted, before any normal person should have known I was watching his reflection. It was the crib smile, smaller now, better made, but the same private shape. He raised one finger to his lips, not enough for anyone else to notice. I dropped a fork. Everyone turned toward me. Noah turned last. By then, his face was kind. Everyone else says Noah grew up perfectly. I think he just got better at being watched.